you're paying more tax than you think. A lot more. Most people think that they're just paying a bit of income tax, maybe a bit of VAT, and that's about it. And they have absolutely no idea that they're being taxed almost everywhere they turn. According to This Is Money, the average household now pays 37 different taxes. It's actually closer to 40. Yes, 40. Let that sink in for a second. 40 different taxes on your income, on your spending, on your savings, and on your death. You get taxed when you work, you get taxed when you buy something, you get taxed when you own something, and when you die, they tax you again. And the average household in the UK pays about £32,000 a year in just tax. Now, you might think, what's the big deal? Well, now I'm going to tell you that the average income is just £37,000, which means an average household spends nearly 2/3 of everything that they own in tax. 2/3! That means you're working, 3 or 4 days a week just for the government, just for the taxman, and only 1 day, maybe 2 days for yourself. Would you actually sign up for that deal if that's how they positioned it to you? You know, work Monday to Thursday for the government and then Friday for yourself. And maybe you could work a little bit of extra time on Saturday too. But that's exactly what they're doing. And yet people don't even realise it, because the system hides it. People understand that you get your first £12,000 tax-free, and that is correct until you start spending that £12,000, because then there's VAT, council tax, fuel duty, car tax, stamp duty, inheritance tax, TV licence. The list just goes on and on and on and on. Owning a car? Well, there's at least 5 different taxes right there too. You're taxed when you buy that car. You're taxed there's VAT when you buy the car. Then once you own the car, there's road tax, there's fuel duty, and parking. And when you sell it, there's even more tax. That's not owning a car, that's being milked by the government, plain and simple. Now, here's the part that really gets me. Most people think that they're being clever by saving. You know, they'll think, I'll put a bit in the bank, I'll be sensible. But if you do that, your savings are taxed too. First, the money you were taxed before it went into the savings account, so you were taxed on that. And then when it's in there, they'll give you an interest rate of, say, 2%. And then after that, you get taxed on that and any gains. And while all of that's going on, inflation is running higher, so whatever savings you do have are shrinking in real terms. Your buying power of that money, because everything else is getting more expensive, the buying power is reducing. And that's the silent tax. So, you tax when you earn, you tax when you spend, you tax when you save, and you tax when you die. And it's only going to get worse. It really is. Rachel Reeves has already warned that there are tax changes that are going to happen in the autumn budget. You know, you might be thinking, why? Well, the NHS, defence, social housing, they all need tens of billions. And where's that all going to come from? Well, it's not coming from the billionaires. It's not coming from the multinationals. It's coming from you, the average worker, the small business owner, the ordinary person just trying to get ahead. So here's the truth. If you only rely on your wages and your savings, you'll always lose this game. Always. Because you're playing against a stacked system. You're giving away 2/3 of your money before you've even had the chance to live your life with it. The only way, and this is the only way to beat this is to own assets. Because assets, they're treated differently. So, what do I mean by that? When inflation rises, so when we've got periods of inflation, which is all the time, assets rise in value too. When the government prints money, which devalues the value of money because there's more of it in circulation, that causes inflation. And because of that, assets rise again too. When everyone else is being taxed on their wages and their spending, if you own assets, you're building equity and income streams. And the most proven, most powerful asset in the UK, well, that's property. Yes, they'll tax landlords. Yes, they'll keep changing the rules. But here's the thing. Property still beats the system every time. Because while your shopping basket gets smaller, your rents go up. While your income tax keeps hitting you every month, house prices grow over time. While inflation eats the value of your savings, it erodes the value of your mortgage debt. That's the complete opposite to being an average earner. Instead of working 3 or 4 days for the government, your tenants and inflation are working for you. Yeah, let me say that again. So instead of working 3 or 4 days for the government, your tenants and inflation, they start working for you. That's why the wealthy keep getting wealthier. It's not because they're smarter than you. It's not because they're luckier. It's not because the system's unfair. It's because they own assets. While everyone else owns liabilities. Now, I know what you're thinking. Like, you get it, you understand it, but you've got absolutely no idea where to start. Or, I don't have the money. Or maybe, I'm just scared of all these new rules like the Renters' Rights Bill. And that's exactly why we built Property.School. Because the only way to flip the system around in your favour is to get educated and start. And inside Property.School, you'll learn how to buy property even if you don't have loads of savings or even if you don't have any money. How to structure deals so you can maximise your tax efficiency and maximise your income. How to make the new Renters' Rights Bill in your favour so it's working for you and not against you. How to spot undervalued areas so you can buy low, rent high. There's content on all the different investment strategies like BRR, no money down, service accommodation, deal packaging, commercial conversions, and here's the big one, also how to stop being a person who pays 40 different taxes every year without even realising it, and start being the person who actually owns assets that grow, that pay you income and protect you from inflation. You can keep being the person who works most of their week for the government, or you can learn to play the game, the same game that the wealthy play. It's your choice. The government isn't going to save you. Your employer is not going to save you either. The taxman's definitely not going to save you. You have to save yourself. You just do. It's just the reality of our current economy and where everything is. And property, done properly, is the way to do it. So ask yourself this. Are you going to keep paying 40 different taxes every year without fighting back? Or are you going to get educated and get started? Because you can use property to finally flip the system in your favour. Now, I'm going to invite you to come check us out inside Property.School. So just type into any browser, property.school/go. Property.school/go. Let me actually just share it on the screen. Property.school/go. There we go. Because one thing's for sure, they're not stopping, they're not lowering your taxes, they're not making life easier. If anything, they're tightening the screws. And you can sit there and you can take it, or you can take action. And that's what Property.School's for. So come check us out. You can join for less than 50p a day. It's cancel any time, there's no ongoing contracts. You're going to learn everything that you need in order to flip that script and take back control. So come check us out at property.school/go, and I'll see you inside.